Hey guys, I'm Kevin Kreider. I've been a model for about 9 years, and this is just going to get in the way of my photo. So, what I used to do with these photos is I used to do a little bit of sharpening on an app. I used to post it up on Instagram, do a couple hashtags, maybe even take my shirt off and say like Motivation Monday, or like, Friday, it's Flex Friday. Wait for all the followers, wait for all the likes, the comments, and it would validate me. It would make me feel like I had a place in the world. And I would use this platform to make myself feel better than you and feel less than you. So when I became a model, I gave up this whole big personal training business that I had. It was very successful. I was a professional bodybuilder at the age of 21, and I went up to New York to pursue a modeling career. And in that career, I fell into the loneliest, darkest place that I ever was at. I became very super selfish. I started to hate who I became. It got so bad that I got so stressed out that I lost all my hair, called alopecia areata, to stress-induced hair loss. And within 2 weeks, I lost most of my hair, and I also lost my career. I went back to Philadelphia feeling very defeated. And in there, I went and lived with my dad for about 3 weeks, and he kicked me out and said, Kevin, you have to get your life back together. I felt so confused. I was like, how did I get to this place? How did I get to this place where I started to hate who I became? How did I get so selfish? How did I end up getting kicked out of my dad's house? So I went back into personal training. I got back into fitness. And in there, I started training my clients again. And I got this awesome girlfriend. And I was telling my clients about it. But she wasn't doing what I wanted. She was pissing me off. I'm gonna marry her. I can't control what she's gonna do. She makes me so angry, fearful, all of this stuff. And my clients knew about my addiction and said, I think you should go to a 12-step program. So I went because I thought it would fix my relationship. I was like, well, I'll fix her with this 12-step program. And in there, I learned these principles, these steps, these tools, this way of life that actually ended up helping me out. And I'm about to share with you those steps, the most important ones. I can't even tell you all of it in 10 minutes because it just wouldn't do it justice, so I'm gonna bring out the ones that really meant a lot for me. The first step in any 12-step program is admitting that you're powerless over fill in the blank. For me, it was my relationships, and that your life was unmanageable. My girlfriend, she was very unmanageable to me at that time. And so you would say like, well, admitting you're powerless, how is that powerful? Well, I was so focused on trying to change her and what she was doing to me that I realized that the only thing I could do was me. I could only change me. I could only change my outlook. So instead of wasting my time on that, on her, I was able to use my energy on something else. Something else that we could use this powerlessness, step one, is LA traffic. Who here actually likes it? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, most of the time, you're powerless over the LA traffic. Why spend so much time controlling LA traffic that you can't control? Or honking and bumping somebody? Like, what's that gonna do? Well, that's what I was doing in my relationship. The following step is to really just let go and have faith. I had to let go and have faith that this program would work for me. An example that I used this step in my daily life is I had this whole speech laid out, written down, rehearsed it a couple times, it came out good, it was under 10 minutes, and now I have to come up here and I have to let go and have faith that the right thing is going to be said, and that one person can walk away with something that I said that could change their life and help them. The next step, which was one of the hardest ones for me, was looking at my fears and resentments. I didn't know I had that many fears. I didn't know I had that many resentments. But the biggest fear that I uncovered through this was that I felt like I was going to be alone. I was afraid that I was not good enough for other people, that I would die alone and nobody would love me, that I was born imperfect. And I didn't realize that I was carrying that fear in all my relationships. And then my resentment, the biggest resentment that I had was with Asian women. All you lovely Asian women, I had the biggest resentment with. Because when I was younger, I was told by Asian women that I don't date Asian guys. They're not as attractive as white guys. I only date white guys. You're like my brother. Why would I date you? And I carried that with me in all my relationships going forward. And so my current girlfriend at the time was Asian. So you could see how that played out. Not very well, so we broke up. But I had to break up with her. We broke up because I had to heal. But I never had that chance to heal unless I uncovered that for myself. The next steps are called character defects. Character defects are just behaviors that you do that aren't working for you. My biggest character defect at that time was selfishness. Selfishness. I was super selfish. Everything was about me. Never thought about helping other people. Didn't think I was capable of helping other people. So what do I do with this? What I do is I carry a note card around with one of my biggest character defects. Selfish. So every single time something comes up and my resentments and fears come up because of my selfishness, I get to do the opposite and become selfless, a little bit less about me and maybe about other people. And so I have to do the contrary action. I'm not perfect at this. I'm nowhere near perfect at this, but I keep getting better. Every single day, life throws at me like things that I can do to become a little bit selfless. The following steps, which are really tough for people and myself, is amends. And amends isn't just saying, I'm sorry, I ran over your toe. For me, I had to make amends to my father and many other people, but I'm going to give you an example of my father. I had no clue that my selfishness was actually hurting him. He was worried about me. I even took money from him that wasn't mine. My selfishness said, well, I can't afford health insurance. My dad offered to pay half of my health insurance at the time, and I took all of it because I was entitled, and I thought, well, he's my father, he should have to pay for it. So I had to write a check out to him and say, I'm sorry about this, and actually take action on it. And I didn't know he was actually going to cash in the check. That kind of hurts when that happens, but it was something that I had to do. But my dad, we always had a pretty good relationship, but it was just a little distant from me. But after I did that amends, I connected with him deeper and more lovingly than I ever imagined. I could look at this man and say, I love you, and really feel it and mean it. And now we have the best relationship that just keeps on growing. The final step, if you get anything from this, is the 12th step. It's service. It's giving back what was freely given to me. It's just service. This is an act of service for me. JD's not paying me to be up here or all these other people, but I hope I can be of service to you because I always thought just because, I had this bad experience that I was of no use, but always there's somebody who felt like I did that I can share my story and they can get some strength and hope from it and it can help somebody else. I went from being a fuckboy on Instagram with a few likes to now being on stages like TED, had a TED Talk. Going back to my Instagram, now I write stuff on there and people respond and I help thousands of people daily with not just my photos that I put up, but all the stuff that I can do to help other people. I always think, what can I do to benefit other people with this post? I went from being in a very codependent relationship where all my self-esteem came from the person I was dating, my confidence, my purpose, to now being happily single. That's for another talk. I'll talk about my relationships in another talk. But I'm happily single. I went from not having any purpose in my life to now having even a documentary called The Ugly Model premiered here in LA that got a huge audience response. I went from being super selfish to being miserable with my life, to being more selfless and experiencing more joy, connection with people than I ever imagined in my life. Yes, I got out of credit card debt. I had thousands and thousands piled up, but now I have more of a successful business running. It's just amazing all the opportunities that came because I was living through these principles of the 12 steps. So if anything you can get from this is that I want you to be able to experience the same things that I've been able to experience through these 12-step processes. And hopefully, just like me, I was able to start now living a life that I always dreamt of. It's not perfect yet, but I'm starting to live that life that I've always dreamt of, and maybe even more soon. And I only want that for you with this process. Thank you.